Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bill-chan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Ban-chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of Great Expectations.
S.
Ah.
Great Expectations. Charles Dickens. Chapter 46, Check 1. 8 o'clock had struck before I got into there. That was scented, not disagreeably, by the chips and shavings of the longshore boat builders and mast, oar, and blockmakers to meet. And when I struck down by the river, they and was anything but easy to find. It was called Moponbank, Chinks's Basin, and I had no other guide to Chinks's Basin than the old green copper rope walk. It matters not what stranded ships repairing in dry docks I lost myself among. What altars of ships in course of being knocked to pieces. What ooze and slime and other dregs of tide. What yards of shipbuilders and shipbreakers. What rusty anchors blindly biting into the ground, there for years of duty. What mountainous country of accumulated casks and timber. How many rope walks that were not the old green copper. After several times falling short of my destination and as often overshooting it, I came unexpectedly round a corner, upon Moponbank. It was a fresh kind of place, all circumstances considered, where the wind from the river had room to turn itself round, and there were 2 or 3 trees in it, and there was the stump of a ruined windmill. In the moonlight, on a series of wooden frames set in the ground, that looked like superannuated hammocking rakes which had grown old and lost most of their teeth. Front and 3 stories of bow window, not bay window, which is another thing. I looked at the plate upon the door, and read there, Mice, Wimple. That being the name I wanted. I knocked, and an elderly woman of a pleasant and thriving appearance responded. She was immediately deposed, however, by Herbert, who silently led me into the parlour and shut the door. In that very unfamiliar room and region, and I found myself looking at him, much as I looked at the corner cupboard with the glass and china, the shells upon the chimney piece, and the coloured engravings on the wall, representing the death of Captain a ship launch, and His Majesty King George III in his state coach and wig, leather breeches, and top boots. On the chair sat Windsor. All is well. Handel, said Herbert, and he is quite satisfied, though eager to see you. My dear girl is with her father, and if you'll wait till she comes down, I'll make you known to her, and then we'll go upstairs. I had become aware of an alarming growling overhead, and had probably expressed the fact in my countenance. I am afraid he is a sad old rascal, said Herbert, smiling, but I have never seen him. Don't you smell rum? I'd rum, said I. Yes, returned Herbert, and you may suppose how mad it makes his gout. He persists. 2. In keeping all the provisions upstairs in his room, and throwing them out. He keeps them on shelves over his head, and will weigh them all, while he thus spoke. The growling noise became a prolonged roar, and then died away. What else can be the consequence? Said Herbert. In explanation, if he will cut the cheese. He seemed to have hurt himself very much, for he gave another furious roar. To have provies for an upper lodge is quite a godsend to mice, Wimpole said. How, Bert? For of course people in general won't stand that noise. A curious place. Handel. It was a curious place. Indeed. But remarkably well kept and clean. Ice. Wimpole said Herbert, when I told him so, is the best of housewives. And I really do not know what my Clara would do without her motherly help. For Clara has no mother of her own. Handel. Surely that's not his name. No, said Herbert. That's my name for him. His name is Mr. Barley. Love a girl who has no relations. Herbert had told me on former occasions, and now reminded me. Establishment at Hammersmith, and that on her being recalled home to nurse her father. He and she had confided their affection to the motherly mice, Wimpole. By him it had been fostered and regulated with equal kindness and discretion. Ever since. Barley. Then kept. All. And purses stores. In the beam that crossed the ceiling. The room door open. And a very pretty, light, dark-eyed girl of 20 also came in with a basket in her hand, whom Herbert tenderly relieved of the basket, and presented, blushing, as Clara. She really was a most charming girl, and might pass for a captive fairy, whom that truculent ogre, Old Barley, had pressed into his service. Look here, said Herbert, showing me the basket, with a compassionate and tender smile, after we had talked a little. Here's Clara's supper, served out every night. Here's her allowance of bread, and here's her slice of cheese. And here's her rum which I drink. This is Mr. Barley's breakfast for tomorrow, served out to be cooked. 2 mutton chops, 3 potatoes, some split peas, a little flour, 2 ounces of butter, a pinch of salt, and all this black pepper. It's stewed up together and taken hot, and it's a nice thing for the gout. Stores in detail, as Herbert pointed them out, and something so confiding, woven, and innocent in her modest manner of yielding herself to her embracing arm, and something so gentle in her, so much needing protection on Mo Bonbing, by Chinks's Basin, and the old green copper rope walk. Her and Hobart for all the money in the pocketbook I had never opened. I was looking at her with pleasure and admiration, when suddenly the growl swelled into a roar again, and a frightful bumping noise was heard above, seeming to come at us. Upon this, Cora said to Herbert, Papa wants me. Darling, and ran away. There is an unconscionable old shark for you, said Herbert. What do you suppose he wants now? I don't know, said I. That's it, cried Herbert, as if I had made a guess of extraordinary merit. He keeps his grog ready mixed in a little tub on the table. Wait a moment, and you'll hear Clara lift him up to take some. There he goes. Another roar, with a prolonged shake at the end. Now, said Herbert, as it was succeeded by silence. He's drinking. Now, said Herbert, as the growl resounded in the beam once more. Clara returned soon afterwards, and Herbert accompanied me upstairs to see our charge. As we passed Mr. Barley's door, he was heard hoarsely muttering within, in a strain that rose and fell like wind, the following refrain, in which I substitute good wishes for something the reverse. Aye, bless your eyes. Here's old Bill Barley. Here's old Bill Barley. Bless your eyes. Here's Bill Barley on the flat at his back. By the Lord. Lying on the flat of his back like a drifting dead flounder. To be continued.